Joining me today is Doug Swan, Head of North American SAP Sales at Google Cloud, Brian Jacobs from North America SAP Sales at Google Cloud, Harris Fogel, Global Vice President of Consumer Products at SAP, and Ramesh Iyanswany, Head of SAP on Google Cloud at Tata Consultancy Services. Welcome, everyone. So, Ramesh, I wondered if you could start by setting the scene for us. Could you tell us a bit about how the current market uncertainty is affecting the way CPG and retail organisations are looking at investments around ERP and supply chain modernisation? And is this an area of spend executives are pulling back on?
Well, thanks, Kathleen, for the question. And I think the spend is certainly on. And we are all coming out of this whole COVID scenario, right, where we have seen the entire supply chain getting disrupted. And it's more valid for retail and CPG customers, especially, right? And what we saw in the last decade or so is customers used to do their demand planning, their supply chain based on historical data, historical numbers. And we have seen in the last 3 years that none of those historical trends are valid anymore. Right, it kind of completely goes for a toss when you have unpredictable scenarios like what has happened in the last 2 to 3 years. And for that reason, customers, especially in CPG world, if you see, they are continuously looking at optimizing through agile ways. How do I find ways to optimize my supply chain? How do I find optimal ways to run my inventory goods movement from warehouse to warehouse, from stores to store, and make the consumer availability at a priority for most of the retail stores as well. Right. And for that, when you look back in the IT organizations, what these customers are doing is they are looking at doing what we call as cloudification of the ERP, right? Where ERP is the backend digital core, but how do you enable ERP with more power and assets is when you start coupling it with the power of cloud, right? So you look at bringing in scenarios using microservice-based architecture that will take some of your complex ERP processes, give you a very quick agile with the power of cloud. You look at scenarios where you're on predictive analytics to have a much more optimal demand supply scenarios built in, right? And when a lot of these things are happening, you also want to do it at a faster time to market. You don't have time to do all these things in the longer run. So that's why customers are looking at accelerators, at platform solutions that would actually help them to do this at a much, much faster pace. And that's where really the spend is going in.